All right, enough
Okay,
about
yeah,
that.
we have a couple of topics. Okay, I kind of want to mention the China thing, but at the same time, I want to mention the SAG thing. Which one you want to go first with?
Let's get through the China thing first,
Okay.
because I don't know how long the SAG rant's gonna last. Because man, I am.
Okay, basically the thing with China is they introduced some measures regarding microtransactions, and basically there's like one of the laws was like you can't do like force people to daily log in to get rewards or whatever, time gated shit that you usually see on mobile.
Chores, basically.
Yeah. So they kind of like did laws that like, hey, you can't really do that and that and that. If you wanna like, make sure people pay, you do it properly without any manipulation, and so on.
Now, hold on a second. Just to clarify, this means the stuff that you specifically just get simply for logging in correctly. Like, there's no anything, like you don't have to do a task or anything for it. Like, you legitimately just get
daily
it
logins
for logging in, just so we can clarify.
Yeah, something
this.
like that. Yeah, I didn't get like I didn't get like into like the proper details of it, but basically that's the idea of it. They basically trying to.
Well, I sincerely doubt like they would have gone so far as to say like, well, no, you can't do like daily task type things, because that kind of undercuts like the whole point of a video game. And I get that some people who look at a live service model don't like the fact that things like daily tasks and daily objectives and stuff start to turn into like chores after a while. But at the same time, it's from a game design perspective, you kind of got to look at it and go, well, what the fuck else are you supposed to do? Because, I get it. I see it on both sides of the spectrum. And believe me, I play a game that's like completely designed around the whole fucking concept. So don't nobody out there think I'm ignorant to it all. I just don't have the rose-colored glasses on.
But yeah.
So, I get it.
It was like something about microtransactions, basically. You can't pay your way through it and so on, blah, 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 right? So they try to basically protect the children, right? And basically... and from what I read...
The Maud Flanders laws.
From what I read, it was a really good decision, common sense-wise, right? Yeah, that was a good decision. But, because that happened, loads of companies in China lost a lot of stock. Their fucking stock went down so fucking hard. I think Tencent lost like 20-something or 15% of stock, of value because of these changes, this law that is...
You know what? That's a shame. That's a, and I'm going to say this like as facetious and as sarcastic as I possibly can. That is such a shame to have that happen to your business model that is solely wrapped around exploitation, addiction, and gambling habits. I feel so incredibly sorry for you. I'm trying to hold back the tears right now because of your profit margin loss that was there simply on the backs of exploitation and mental health problems among your player base. And, you guys did the best you could with psychological warfare and trickery and carrot dangling, and I bet there was even some slot machines thrown in there. Some cleverly designed slot machines too that your marketing team and your monetization team worked minutes on. Because you guys, I'm sorry, all that hard work is now out the window, and you guys have now lost money on it.
Well, because
that sucks.
Because there was a big outcry about that and everything. They rolled back some of it back. They did roll back some of it back.
You know what aggravates me the most about this whole thing?
Corporations hold the power.
What this should be looked at. Well, no. What this should be looked at is as the industry, as governments and the player base is bucking back on game designers and publishers about these live service models and how excessive they've gotten over the years, because it's just been us as a fan base over the years screeching about it. And not that I'm trying to praise China or anything as a red, white, and blue-blooded American.
You call me.
But I do applaud this, but at the same time, the gaming industry is not going to look at it as the way they should. They're not going to look at this as a reason to self-examine and go, holy shit, what else are we doing wrong that the governments could possibly not like?
Yeah, of course they're not going to go with that. Yeah, of course not. Like,
that's the horrible thing about it, though.
Of course, the angels, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is where I was getting at is the reason is why I was bringing that up is they're not going to take this as an opportunity in order to better themselves for not only the markets but their player bases as well. And it's they're just going to look at this as how how more can we get away with our fuckery without getting caught now?
Yeah. But I remember I heard someone like, why would the changes that China was proposing and want to do, they're great, right? On paper. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you slice it, this is a good thing.
But what I did not enjoy is certain comments that I've seen people make. For example, like, you don't need microtransactions to make, like, well, correction. You don't need a predatory microtransactions to make a good game, right? But in some people,
you don't even need them to make money.
In a sense, yeah. But in a sense, I do understand why live service is a bad thing sometimes, and why, like, but for example, someone said, "Look at Baldur's Gate; it's selling millions and it's doing great,"
But you know goddamn well some corporate accountant at another publisher is doing the math on it and going,
well, they could have made this much more money if they would have instituted a live service model with per transactionatory skins and buffs and XP buffs and skips and things of that nature. There were millions upon millions of dollars that didn't get made in that instance.
I get that.
They're stupid, even though they made all that money.
and that's what pisses me off the most about the industry.
Yeah, but what I was disagreeing with is like, Baldur's Gate is a great. I haven't played it, but I understand why people love it and so on. Like, it's a great game.
Neither have I, and I understand why it's a great game.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad that games like that exist, but you can't really compare, to other games. For example, let's say first-person shooters. Like, yes, by Activision or EA or any other, AAA studio that is making first-person shooters, I get it. Live service is kind of the bad way to go with first-person shooters. You can't really go, make a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I mean, we even said it back in the day. We kind of wanted it for Battlefield 4, just had the runtime out on that. Like, and back then. But the thing is the way we proposed in order to do it was not, be as predatory as possible.
Yeah,
it
pretty
was
much that.
Keep things rolling so that the game could keep going and testing could keep going.
Because you still have to
and
pay for the
things could
service,
keep improving for the franchise.
You can't. You have to understand. People have to understand that you can't really pay for the servers just for pure sale of the game. I get that. So the money needs to come somehow from someone.
It has to make money, yes.
Because you can't keep it forever because someone has to pay for the servers for it to last. If you want the game to last for 10 years, someone has to pay for the servers in some shape or form.
You've got to make that money somehow in order to pay the devs. And I mean, I get it. We are not ignorant at all to the business side of it. We are not ignorant at all to the fact that, it is in fact a business and it is out there to make money. Where I personally draw the line is how much and how it's made.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck how much money a company really makes as long as three things happen. They pay their dues to the communities around them where they're headquartered and, they actually take care of their fucking workforce. 1. 2, they make their money in a way that makes their player base happy. That's not exploitative. And 3, they're not smug dickheads about everything, and they're not continually pursuing excessive growth. It's out there as clear as day. These companies are pulling back. They're laying motherfuckers off left and right. It's still going on. Has been going on for 10 years now. It's just nothing but record profits. Even though there's been failures of video games launched that make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's the whole shareholder mindset. It's what it all boils down to at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, great changes, China. For once, China does something right, but again, they kind of had to go back as corporations were bitching.
We gotta get the.
The fucking claps. I need to really start the clapping sound effect here. But yeah, it will not happen on the western side of the country, on this planet.
No, it won't happen in the West.
It will not happen in the UK. It will not happen in, maybe UK. It will not happen in USA. It's just not happening.
I would say, all right, here, like it always does. The UK will follow probably after the EU does, which is ironic considering Brexit. But whatever, we'll not go there.
But that's the truth though. Like like the biggest bloc or the neighbor, like you kind of have to do what they do because otherwise, like, well, what. We're losing out, boys. But yeah, it's so fucking dumb.
I mean, it is funny. It is true. Not that we really want. We really try not to get very political on this talk show at all because we don't. There's no place for it here. But I mean, it's hard to avoid in some aspects. But I don't take sides either. Like I'll just make that clear. Everybody's dumb. Everybody is equally dumb in my eyes.
Humans are fucking dumb. I can't even tell stories on my end of how fucking dumb they are.
Like we really want to get into worldviews. Like, let me just break open the book of nihilism for everybody, and we'll just sit and read some fucking stories, kids.
Okay, but
that having been said, it's again, I applaud this type of stuff. Like, maybe the rest of the world, maybe the West might see it and go, "Holy shit, China's doing the thing." Like, maybe we should kind of do the thing because if the Chinese market. I hate saying it because it's so true. Like, the Chinese market dictates so much in this world. Like, look, it makes, like, the Chinese market is so powerful. It made Disney quake in its boots, okay? Fucking Disney. Like, nobody fucks with House of Mouse except for China.
To be fair, Disney is kind of struggling these days, and have you?
In multiple ways. Like, we'll not get into that. I mean, it is kind of funny that they're. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of stopped following the whole thing with the Florida governor and Disney. Kind of like.
Oh, I'm not even about that. Just in general.
Just in general, they're not doing very hot.
Disney Plus and all that kind of stuff.
Not doing very well. Yeah.
But
can anybody name a movie? Anybody name a Marvel movie they actually wanted to see after Endgame?
No Way Home. But that's not a Marvel movie. That's a Sony movie technically.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an MCU movie, but that's not really.
Yeah, that's a Sony movie. Yeah.
Like, even the Doctor Strange movie was alright.
Yeah.
It was alright. I didn't like seeing.
I was expecting better.
That movie was brutal.
I was expecting better.
Yeah, I was expecting better. Yeah. But it's they're not doing very hot these days. So, like, maybe I don't know.